It's time for another edition of Live from Studio M on 105.5 Triple M. I'm your host, Jonathan Sutton. Today we get to visit with a singer-songwriter who not only writes witty and thoughtful lyrics, but also books. He can talk to you about religion and science and knows his way around a canvas. He even figured out a way for some of his fans to do his work. We'll talk about all of that, but first, let's hear a song from Josh Ritter, live from Studio M.
Henrietta, Indiana, mill town. Locked the factory down and shut it up tight. My daddy and my brother and 1,600 others lost everything they had that night. And daddy got a taste for the hard stuff. Henrietta, Indiana was dry. And we'd ride out to Putney. He'd tell me he loved me. The drive home was always so quiet. He had a devil in his eye. Like a thorn in the paw, disregard for the law, disappointment to the Lord on high. My brother practiced preaching in the basement, perspiration on his face till I knew that something was missing. His spirit was willing, he could not believe it was true. Blessed be the poor, he said, your treasure is on high. And all of Henrietta, Indiana heard me hallelujah when I finally saw the devil in his eye. Saw the devil in his eye. Like a thorn in the paw, disregard for the law, disappointment to the Lord on high. And I was coming home late from midnight to 8. The radio said that I'd need the plates. Left 3 men dead, made their escape by now. Said the sheriff, they'll be in the next day. Will we be able to catch them? Can they bring the dogs in? Can they call up the bureau? Do they have next to kin cameras? Came to our door, I opened it wide. They thought I was crying, it was something in my eye. Bottle on the table, the Bible open to the Sermon on the Mount. And blessed be the poor of Henrietta, Indiana, but happy are the ones that get out. I think I'll ride over to Putney, the store will be open till 12. The empty parking lot, the lights, the lonely kid, the register, I see it all clear as a bell. I got a devil in my eye. Like a thorn in the paw, disregard for the law, disappointment to the Lord on high. Like a thorn in the paw, disregard for the law, disappointment to the Lord on high.
Next here at 105.5 Triple M. We're back live from Studio M. Our guest today, Josh Ritter. And man, you know, I knew you were going to do this to me. Like all your songs, we could probably just spend the whole half hour just talking about that song, Henrietta, Indiana.
Thanks.
I mean, your writing is amazing. So let's talk about that song first before we delve back into some other things.
Yeah.
Childhood issues and whatever.
You got time there.
So, I mean, God, what a great story song. And this is kind of the perspective of a woman. Is that true or not?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily evident in the lyrics, but I always had in my head, for some reason, the very first time, you know, that it was a girl, maybe 20 or so, you know, living rough, and this was the example. She makes she's making a choice. The whole song is kind of about her making this choice, and it was really not effortless, but it flowed like very much like a narrative, like water. One thing led to the next.
And so it came kind of quickly. Sometimes the best ones.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah, sometimes you're working on them in the back of your head for way longer than you realized.
So, and being a dad now, it's a little different as far as writing goes, right?
Yeah.
So how old? You have a girl, right?
She's 3 years old.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've got a little 3-year-old too. Man, it's
Yeah.
tiring, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
They start out under a potato. And at the time I remember being so stressed out about this thing that couldn't move and couldn't talk. And now, she's got an agenda. And the thing about, so the thing that I found was that, when she was born and I was doing other things and occupied with her and with the needs, that I had to start writing in my head. I had to start writing when I couldn't have paper and pen, and it was a exercise, because you're doing stuff now and you're playing with blocks and there's all sorts of things like that. But in the back of your mind, you're also kind of tumbling around this rock that's this idea, and 8 hours later when you have a chance to scribble it down, it's like this smooth stone, and it's maybe really weird, but at the end of the day you can put a pin in it and say it's yours.
Yeah.
That's how it's changed my writing. I had to say it hasn't been the thing that everybody says where it changes your relationship to your work forever. It just made it more keenly enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Right, when you had the time to do it. Kind of like how I feel when I have the chance to take a shower.
Yeah. It's a marvelous feeling.
Yeah.
I remember the last one I took.
So was the whole album, how long did it take to create Sermon on the Rocks then?
I guess it took about 1.5 years of writing, and I wrote many songs for it, and then the process of finding a producer, finding a studio, and then recording takes its own amount of time. And so I guess, but the writing really was a year or so, year and a half, and I went into it with this idea that I needed to change how I wrote. I needed to write much more at the keyboard. I wanted to learn how to use some computer programs and to make loops that I could work with. I just wanted to, you gotta every time you gotta do something different, otherwise just stuff gets stale, and I have a fear of becoming a medley artist,
Right.
So that's anything to do to keep it away from there, and luckily with this one, it really felt like it took off.
Yeah, although a medley from you, it would still be kind of cool anyway. No one would complain. All right, let's hear another song, and then we can talk a little bit more about where you recorded and all that.
Sure, okay.
All right, what you got for us?
I'll do this song, Getting Ready to Get Down.
It's Josh Ritter live from Studio M.
When I wrote this song, I was really on a roll, and I wrote it without leaving in any breath. Mama got a look at you and got a little worried. Papa got a look at you and got a little worried. The pastor got a look, said y'all better hurry. Send her off to a little Bible college in Missouri, and that you come back saying you know a little bit about every little thing they ever hoped you never figure out. Eve ate the apple because the apple was sweet. Kinda got whatever, keep her girl from getting what she needs tonight. I'm getting ready to get down. I'm getting ready to get down. I'm getting ready to get down. Now people cross the street when you walk in their direction, talk between the teeth and throwing epithets, and the doctor thinks the devil must have got you by your senses. But to live the way you please doesn't sound like possession. It's 4 long years studying the Bible, infidels, Jezebel, Salomas, and Delilahs. Back off the bus in your own hometown. So you didn't like me then, you probably won't like me now. But I'm getting ready to get down. I'm getting ready to get down. I'm getting ready to get down. And all the men of the country club, the ladies of the auxiliary, talk about love like it's apple pie and liberty. To really be a saint, you gotta really be a virgin. Dry as a page of the King James Version. No la-las, no hell yeses, no I can't wait, so gotta see you again. Just turn the other cheek, take no chances. Jesus hates your high school dances. Madison especially, it's a terrible problem. Said your soul needed saving, so they sent you off to Bible school. You learned a little more than they had. Her was in the golden rule. Be good to everybody, be a strength to the weak, be a joy to the joyful, be the laughter and the grief, and give your love freely to whoever that you please. Don't let nobody tell you about who you ought to be. And when you get damned in the popular opinion, it's just another damn other dance not giving out. Getting ready to get down. I'm getting ready to get down. I'm getting ready to get down. Mama got a look at you and got a little boy. Papa got a look at you and got a little boy. The pastor got a look, said y'all better hurry. Send her off to a little Bible college in Missouri, and now you come back, saying you know a little bit about every little thing you ever hope you never figure out. Red Sea, the Dead Sea, the Sermon on the Mount. You wanna see a miracle? Watch me get down tonight. I'm getting ready to get down. I'm getting ready to get down. I'm getting ready to get down. Getting ready to get down. Getting ready to get down. I'm getting ready to get down.
How do you do that? When you were writing it, did you tell me about the writing of that?
I didn't. This was the last song I wrote for the record, and it was. I was really trying to stick to the idea that you write songs, don't try to filter them. Just assume there's going to be a big box of songs that have no relationship to each other, and some of them that like should never see the light of day. But you finish them. And this song, I thought, well, this is not me, but I really like it, and so I called Trina Shoemaker, who's the producer with me on this record, and I told her, and she was cool. She was cool enough. It spoke to her. So yeah, that was a really fun song. But that one came very quickly, and like I said, it didn't have any breaths. I wasn't writing with the guitar there, so I didn't know it would be. There's a point in the show where you can play that, and other points where you can't.
Do you have to close your eyes for it every time to remember? Do you ever mess that up?
That song for some reason there's so many it's so crammed in there that it's almost I haven't messed it up totally yet. But yeah, it's really fun, and there's so much about the writing of this record that I feel so fond of. My memories of it were so vivid.
Yeah, and so your parents were religious, right?
Yes.
But also scientists, is that right?
Yeah. They're religious neuroscientists, which I don't consider myself religious, but one thing I do appreciate about my folks and their relationship with science is that there's the idea that there's more. The world is as it appears, but there are more worlds than appear. That's what that I've always appreciated their belief in that idea of things that we don't know about, and that's something I think is really cool.
Yeah. So then they're neuroscientists, when you're like, I'm going to be a musician, how was that?
They were relieved. For years, I was when my brother and I were growing up, it was neuroscience was the thing that they talked about at the table. It was just that was the family business.
Right.
I think if we'd been undertakers, that would have been what we talked about. And so I thought I wanted to be a scientist because it was clearly the thing that I would love. And when I started studying that stuff, I realized that not only did I not love it, but I was never going to be able to do it. It was like organic chemistry is. I could sooner learn Mandarin, morning than ever learn.
But did you try, and then it was?
I did. I tried pretty hard, and then one day I called my parents early in the morning of my first organic chemistry test, and I told them that I wasn't going to be a musician, and I was glad that I was 2,000 miles away when I did it, but to my surprise, they were really happy. They were thrilled. I would say that my parents were my first record label. You know, they bought most of my records. When I ordered 2000, my very first record, and it was delivered to the house where we were living and you know, there were so many boxes in the basement from that moment on. So they've been terrific to me.
Maybe they knew all along you weren't cut out to be a scientist.
Oh, they knew. They
knew.
Beginning.
Yeah, they knew.
They were letting me find my way.
Very nice.
Too long.
Now you found your way for this album to Nashville, right? Is where you recorded?
I recorded down in New Orleans.
Or New Orleans. I'm sorry, New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans. And you, why did you pick New Orleans?
I wanted to go before when I've done enough records now, and I think I realized that part of the atmosphere has always been like where you play. Part of the record is where it happens, because that's where the people who make it hang out, and there's something so incredible about New Orleans, the homemade freakiness of it, the fact that everybody like appreciates the drummer. In a band. The people will go see the drummer, you know, they don't care about the singer. I think that's so cool. And I wasn't trying to make any like New Orleans music, but I definitely wanted all of us to be in that bloodstream, you know, and be able to walk home, you know, through the sounds and smells of New Orleans and the Mississippi River and all that. It was for me a complete pleasure to be able to go down there and do that there. It's a crazy city.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure the band loved it.
Has the second largest Mardi Gras after Madison.
Exactly. Okay, we'd love to hear another one.
Oh, sure. Why don't I? This song is not a song on the record. This is a song that I by a performer, songwriter that I love, that really helped me shape what this record was about. I was looking around, I was casting around for something new to listen to, and I stumbled on Roger Miller, who's a fantastic songwriting god, came down from the mountain. Engine number 9, headed down the railroad line. How much farther back did she get off? The old brown suitcase that she carried, I've looked for it everywhere. It just ain't there among the rest, and I'm a little upset. Yes, tell me, engine number 9, headed down the railroad line. She said she got on in Baltimore. 110 miles ain't much distance. It sure do make a difference. I don't think she loves me anymore. I warned her of the dangers. Don't speak to strangers. Did by chance she find new romance? Warm lips to kiss her, arms to hold her tighter, stirring new fires inside her. How I wish that it was me instead of he who stands beside her. Engine number 9, headed down the railroad line. She said she got on in Baltimore. 110 miles ain't much distance, but it sure do make a difference. I don't think she loves me anymore. No, I don't think she loves me anymore. No, I don't think she loves me. I don't think she loves me. I don't think she loves me. I don't think she loves me anymore.
Roger Miller, they think of King of the Road, really, but there's so much more there, really. Why did you stumble across him, or you always had liked him?
I heard King of the Road, and that song is everywhere, and it's such a beautiful song, and his voice had such a quality of like sadness and humor, and that reminded me of my grandpa, in fact, who was not a singer, but once gave me a Tic Tac, and it was the coolest moment of my life. But Roger Miller, he comes down and he's got this kind of mockingbird approach to like songwriting, and funny, and also could be very like emotional without like emoting. There's something about him. His writing is so clever but also not so clever that he removes the kind of pathos, you know.
Right.
I just love that guy. He's great.
You went to Oberlin, right?
Yeah,
For school.
Yeah.
So the music school there's tons of talented people here. We had, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, Rhiannon Giddens was here.
Yeah.
She did opera there. I think you guys were there at the same time.
We were in one of the same classes together. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So what? Like you are surrounded by all these other talented people. I don't if it's intimidating or inspiring or what's. I mean.
Well, the people that were in music school are like athletes. You know, those guys are they're a whole different breed from us aspiring neuroscientists. You know? I was lucky enough to take some music classes without having to learn to read music. You know, and I just had a blast. You know, you go and you can just listen to what a privilege to listen to music all day.
Yeah.
And learn.
So, but it wasn't discouraging. It was more inspiring.
No, never discouraging. You know, like there's things that I can't do, and there's things I can do, and you know, I tried out 4 years in a row to make the JV basketball team. I'm at peace with some of the things that I can't do, but at the same time, I believe that the guitar and certain things. I believe a song should be playable by anybody. You know. It should be simple enough that you can pick it up, and it should be simple enough that you can remember it in the car on the ride home, something about it. And so for that, there's I don't have to know a lot. I can just like throw myself into it and assume that if I mess up, it'll all be okay.
Yeah. You say it should be simple enough to sing in the car. I cannot do Getting Ready to Get Down. It's really hard.
I can't do it while I'm driving.
You're a painter too, right?
Yeah, well, sort of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it was on Twitter. You're doing some kind of like painting exchange, or what?
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
I just started it, and it's any free time is dangerous, you know.
Yeah.
So and I had this idea the other day, and I was like walking the dog, and I thought like one of the things that I don't get the chance to do often is necessarily exchange some other form of art or something with the people that like come to my shows, you know, and people who are like, you know, really like are so good to me, and I've been painting these pictures, and I, you know, you can't really hang them up in your own house and have it be unawkward, you know. And I found that out, and so I decided I wanted to like start. I don't want to like sell them. That doesn't feel weird, right? But I do like the idea of seeing some art in my home that is done by people that I know in a way, you know. So that's but it's an experiment. I'm giving it a try. I've done one so far.
It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was nice. Your partner Haley, she's a writer.
Yes.
And you're a writer. You've written one book or two books? One book. Okay, and it's Bright's Passage.
Yeah.
Right? So how long ago did you write that?
I wrote that back in 2000, and I was writing it in 2010 on the road mostly, and yeah, it was a pleasure. You know, you go out on the road and you're in a confined space with a bunch of other dudes for weeks on end, and the smells are atrocious. And it's like a Civil War triage tent if anybody gets a cold, and I just needed a break. You know, I started running, and I started writing this book. I would put on my headphones and I would sit there in the bus and I would write 1,000 words a day, and that's how I got my first draft. And I did that in that didn't take long. You know, it was so exhilarating to not have to rhyme anything. And you don't have to write so small. You can expand a little bit what you're doing, and I just really loved it. It was really fun. And I want to do it again.
Was it during the Civil War?
No, it was set right after the first. It was set in West Virginia after the First World War. It's about a guy who comes home, a normal kind of young man comes home from the First World War, from an experience that he can't understand, that nobody could understand, and it's about him and this angel that he believes has come back with him from the war and is living in his horse. And it's about the two of them escaping a wildfire for a week.
Wow.
It's a comedy.
So did you tell the guys? Did you tell the guys, guys in the band this, and they were like, or did you just keep it to yourself? Kind of?
I told them, but that's I really needed to, and one of the things that is a huge difference between writing a book and why I appreciate novelists so much more in this way than I ever did before is that novelists don't get applause. Whoever, you don't finish your book and just be like, bravo, that was amazing, Stephen. And but you could do like, so you don't get that, and every day you finish writing it, and unless somebody is there reading your pages, there's nothing to show that you didn't just spend the whole day drinking a Pepsi and looking at the dog, and so I really appreciate.
Have you done that before?
Yeah. I have. But so I had to tell the guys, because otherwise I felt like it was a strange feeling of lonesomeness to come back from this kind of beach in my mind where I was writing and was trying to get away from all these dudes, to coming back and really needing to talk to them about it. Yeah.
So, and they were supportive, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And now when you write stuff, does Haley, do you show her lyrics and get her opinion, or your daughter, do you get any feedback, or you kind of?
I get feedback from her, yeah. But yeah, there's like, I tend to be very specific about my wants in my own writing, and I know when it's right and I know when it's wrong. But I know sometimes I think it's great until I play it for somebody, and then it's like you go to a movie, the movie that you saw that you loved, and you take a friend, and sitting there in the movie with them, you realize that it's not that good a movie. You feel like kind of shame. So I feel that amount of shame sometimes when I play a song and I know that it's not right. But you can only do that when somebody else is there. And she's very, very kind in those situations.
We have time for one more. And what do you want to finish up with?
Well, maybe I think I'm going to do Where the Night Takes Us, which is a song off of Sermon on the Rocks.
It's Josh Ritter live from Studio One.
I heard the word from Brenda Lee. You were coming home, she said. Crossed my heart, I could not believe it. Holy hell, you could have struck me dead. But 3 cheers for the grapevine. Told me you were coming home. Let's see where the night takes us. Let's see where the night goes. It's been slow going. You pay your bills and still they own you. You know the way with best laid plans. Well, this is me, it's who I am. I make the rounds and I pay my dues. Meet up with friends and I dream about you. It isn't much but it's still a lot. Sometimes, honey, I still get lost in those long nights. Old cars, back roads and the boneyards. You drop the pedal like a holy roller. Chef of hell couldn't pull you over. Tough girl from a bad town, brought up not to stay down. Sweet tea, white lightning, breaking hearts and not minding. Come on in, it's so good to see you. It's been so long, I know. Let's see where the night takes us. Let's see where the night goes. Yeah. Last I saw you was a Greyhound waiting. You said don't be sad, don't be blue. LA is not the destination. Still I believe that I must pass through. I saw your face from time to time, and now you're coming home. Let's see where the night takes us. Let's see where the night goes. Only the lonely know the way I'm feeling. Only the living go to the graveyard grieving. Still we're alive and you're astounded. Feel the pulse of the world pound. Feel the pull of the American darkness. The mountains, the rivers, the fields and harvest. It's all we have and that's a lot. Come on honey, let's get lost in a long night. No car, back roads in the boneyards. Drop the pedal like a holy roller. Sheriff of hell could pull you over. Tough girl from a bad town, brought up not to stay down. Sweet tea, white lightning, breaking hearts and not minding. Come on in, it's so good to see you. It's been so long, I know. Let's see where the night takes us. Let's see where the night goes. A long night, no car, back roads in the boneyards. Drop the pedal like a holy roller. Sheriff of hell could pull you over. Tough girl from a bad town, brought up not to stay down. Sweet tea, white lightning, breaking hearts and not minding. Come on in, it's so good to see you. It's been so long, I know. Let's see where the night takes us. Let's see where the night goes.